This amazing artwork.
Hi, everyone. It's so nice to be here. Thanks for inviting us.
Thank you so much. We're so excited to be here.
You'll want to talk straight into it like this.
Okay.
Okay. Good practice.
Yeah, otherwise you're going.
Sitting on the side.
Hi. So we are Mookntaka. My name is Mark,
And I'm Karen.
and we make inflatable sculptures.
The name Mookntaka came from our 2-year-old niece. Now she's almost 9, but when she was 2, she couldn't pronounce Uncle Mark, and so she said Mook, and then Taka, or Auntie Karen was Taka, and so we decided to combine both of those, our names into one to kind of show like the playfulness and like the eyes almost like they're a child. So we bring play to unexpected places.
So we make, like I said, we make these inflatable sculptures. They're called the Friends and Follies, and the idea is that they're very light and we can bring them anywhere. So we go to unexpected places and bring play there. And we just kind of pop up and bring a little bright moment of joy.
I'm gonna stand over here.
Okay.
Oh yeah, this is me. Okay. Hi. Okay. Thanks. So, Mark and I, we make work together collaboratively, but individually, we also have our own art practice. So my background is in fiber arts, so like yarn, textiles, things like that. So I like to make pom-poms actually, and all sort of different shapes and sizes. Next one. But when I was in college, I studied at MICA in Baltimore, and I studied in the fiber program, and that's where I learned about inflatable making. And what I loved about inflatable making is that you can really make big things, but then when all is said and done, you can pack it up into like a little, Trader Joe's tote bag, scurry away. So the scale of it was a lot of fun, and you can see here when I first learned, it was a lot of plastic tape, or I could just, if the plastic was thick enough, I could use a sewing machine. Next slide. And these are just some creatures when I was in college for my thesis. For me, the pom-pom is like a metaphor for community because there's a bunch of all these yarns and threads, and they're all held together by like a strong thread that ties it all together. So I made these creatures that lived in this world of pompery, I called it, and I had different activities where people could learn how to make a pom-pom and then also be part of the artwork. But yeah, these are the characters. And then now, I'm just kind of seeing what else is possible. We're also used to the sphere of a pom-pom, but I like to, it's literally like a soft sculpture for me. I like to use scissors and trim and see what other shapes they can be. And then I also got into glass bead making, so mixing glass and pom-poms together.
That's me. My background is in architecture. I studied how to make buildings. I worked at an architecture office for a little bit. But for myself, so from that, I really learned my love for design. So I would like to design and make some furniture, like benches in the shapes of dogs, lights that kind of look like ladders. I made this little lamp that looks like a robot. I also kind of like Karen, I also really enjoy designing things that look like characters and that have a bit of life to themselves. And with that, I also love to draw and doodle, and I play this game called Magic the Gathering. But it's an expensive hobby, and instead of like buying the cards or trading for them, I just draw the cards I need. And it's a really fun way to express your creativity and also enjoy your hobbies together. So what inspires us?
Yeah, us. So for one example here, we have like a bunch of like, shapes and toys that, you may recognize, like blocks, and also just like things out in the wild that are for function, but then turned into a character. So, you see over here towards Mark is this trash can, but it's like a butler.
Yeah, a little butler is ready to collect your trash.
And then over here is like a little sheep, but it's like a toilet paper holder.
But those are regular toys. You've seen toys.
Yeah, like regular toys. And also, yeah.
We also like finding faces in unexpected places. These are all pictures we took. Like someone in our neighborhood made this awesome snowman with baguettes for arms. Or on our subway stop, someone drew this gnome lord. That was a pancake I made.
We just love seeing faces everywhere,
And like seeing people's express their own creativity in very, unexpected little moments. And there's this game called Katamari where you are this little colorful fella and you roll up a ball and stuff sticks to the ball and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And we love all these characters that are in this world. They're all cousins and they all look similar but a little bit different.
Mm-hmm. So for our inflatables, for us, they're like cousins of each other. We call them the Friends and Follies. And we take them out to places for people to have a little bit of joy.
Our first project is called the Four Wise Cattle. And it was like originally a proposal at this place called Socrates Sculpture Park in New York City. It's a little park dedicated to sculptures. And they were asking for, basically like they wanted like a big tent structure to replace like a boring old tent for like their markets. And we thought, why not make inflatables? So we proposed these 4 giant sculptures. And they would kind of like roam around in like kind of these like different configurations. And the reason they're called the 4 Wise Cattle is because they're these like big, slow creatures that just kind of roam around like this grassy land, and we just kind of get to share the space with them. But we didn't win. We didn't get the competition, but we got honorable mention. And for us, that was enough to think that this was a good idea and we should explore it. Okay. So then we decided to make them anyways, even though someone said we can't help you, but we decided to help ourselves. So we modeled them on the computer to get these patterns for the fabric. So
yeah, Mark's strength, his background's in architecture, so he's able to mock it up on Rhino and kind of see how, the scale of what it could look like, and then also the shapes of what all the pieces are going to be. Because before, when I would do it, I don't know the computer stuff. So what I do is just very more organically. I would just draw it out on the plastic and then, sew it or tape it up together. And I'm like, okay, let's see how big this is. So we have, it's a little bit more precise now. So we cut up the fabric in my apartment. And then we dyed it in my apartment. This is back in 2017. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, so we dye all the fabric, it comes white, but then we have like a big pot, put it over fire, heat it up, so it has some dye to it. Also the fabric, for those curious, is ripstop nylon. So the same material as like a tent material or like what you use for kites. Or umbrellas. And yeah, we dye it with a synthetic dye. And we made them. Yeah, we made them in like various sizes just so we can get an idea of scale. And then we got the micro grant from the Awesome Foundation for us to be able to get portable batteries and blowers so we can just kind of guerrilla style. That's what we used to do a lot before. We would just, we believe that art doesn't have to just exist in a museum, in a gallery. Art can exist anywhere in the world. So, why not just like bring them out anywhere and just inflate it? So we just chose a sunny weekend day and went out to Prospect Park and inflated it in the middle of the park without asking for anyone's permission. Yep.
And it was a huge success. But then the pandemic happened and everything closed. And during the pandemic, we couldn't go outside and celebrate, but there was this one moment where Karen and I decided to get married, and we had a wedding in Karen's mom's backyard. And that was the first time in a while that we took out the inflatables and had them be part of the wedding, because they were there to bring us together and they were there to celebrate with us.
But then it got us thinking that, we've missed them. We haven't seen them for like a whole year. And then we thought, okay, why not in 2021, we'll do like a photo project where we take one of the cattle and bring them out into the world, because, it was still, people still weren't like walking outside, driving. So we would really we walked around so much, right? During that time, and we would think, oh, that'd be fun place to put a friend, and see like streets that no one was driving on, and we could just kind of do this once a week, and then we're taking the parks. It's fun, just like kind of imagining what our friends would be doing.
But then I broke my leg, and we had to stop.
But it really got us thinking, making more friends. Whenever we would take one of them out, there was someone either like walking their dog or like, pushing their baby on a stroller, and they would just like do a double take, and then, we were not going out and being like, look at our piece, we just like are doing our thing. And if people want to come up to us and like want to know more about it, and a lot of times people were like, I have no idea what this is, but I think I really needed it. Thank you. So it really got us thinking, like, what other friends could look like. So, here's Giraffe Jr.
Yeah, we made Giraffe Jr.
Spoiler alert. Okay, should I turn it on?
So the idea for Giraffe Jr. is that you can wrap it around objects and people, but then we quickly learn it also kind of behaves like a big slinky.
And now I'm gone. Sorry if now half. But this is Giraffe Jr. I think you have time to play with Giraffe Jr. later.
Yeah,
right?
after the presentation.
Yeah. So the idea is that Giraffe Jr., you can go underneath, and you can go up here. So we always had like an initial idea of how our friends would be interacted with, but it isn't until people play them that we, get inspired by more friends. Okay, if people can't see the screen, I can turn it off. Should I turn it off? Okay.
I'll Giraffe Jr. will come back later.
Okay.
So we could wrap him around trees. You can really stretch his body. And then after that, we had ideas for another friend called Archie. Archie's a big arch that you get to walk through, and has a big head of hair. And they all kind of have their own personality, and Archie kind of feels like a toddler that's scrambling. You have to put their pants on, because every time we played Archie, we have to put the cover on, and it's a real doozy. But you get to get tangled in its hair, you get to squish his nose. And so we would go out and bring our friends in groups, and like the real magic happens when we start bringing all these different characters together and seeing how they interact.
Yeah, they have a little play date. And this is Hedgehog here. Hedgehog was then funded by the Brooklyn Arts Council, so we were able to make this bigger piece, and inspired by a game of ring toss.
And then you can use those pool floaties to like rest on the ground, hide in Hedgehog shade. There's like people found all sorts of ways to play with the piece.
Yeah, like I said, we thought ring toss, but then it was really fun seeing. You can see there's a child there stacking up the rings. It's really fun seeing how people play with the pieces.
And then every time, with the assumption with inflatables is that you got to go bigger and bigger and bigger. But we thought, what if you go smaller, make them a little simpler?
It turns out it's a lot harder to make smaller.
Yeah, all the little
inflatables.
details. So we made QB.
We have
And
ooze. But these almost feel like kind of like little sketches of what bigger pieces could look like. But there's actually a lot of technical things going on inside the base.
Yeah, so we worked with our friend who's an engineer, and he helped us make this like special base for them. So then we were testing out, what if instead of like a little, like if it, I don't know, behaved more like a lamp. So there's like, you can take this knob and you can twist it and the hash brown just turns on and comes to life. Got all sorts of shapes. And then the little ones inspire the big ones again.
Yeah, sometimes we like a shape so much and then we're thinking, oh, what would the experience be? And then we thought, oh, this would be fun for maybe people to go inside. So we have this piece called Mama Sunny. We were commissioned by the Civic Engagement Commission to create a voting booth, a little ballot. People can place their ballots in the heart there.
They put their votes inside, and like as more people voted, it would kind of fill up with all the ballots.
So it's funny because we had this idea for the design, and then they approached us with this idea, and we're like, oh, why not try to combine those two together? But then after we made this piece, it really got us thinking, okay, we got to make like our own like Mookntaka version. So then we have Plobble, and for Plobble, you can actually go inside.
And it's like this, and it's funny because it feels big, but when you go inside, for some reason, it feels even bigger. And it's like, how does that happen? We don't know. But then, you know, we make inflatables, but we also have a bunch of experiences and ideas that go beyond inflatables.
Like what we shared at the very beginning. So taking our like interests individually and like seeing how that can translate to in our like Mookntaka world. So here we have these poly blocks.
Yeah, we have little illustrations called poly blocks and a tote bag called Tater Tote with long arms. The poly blocks take Karen's glass work and my illustrations. We make these like 2D, 3D little drawings where we have like Archie, but we use yarn for the actual hair. And then this is like our own little Katamari guy, and he's got like a little glass tater tote. And then here, this one, he's cutting a bush, and it's a big pom-pom.
And then, yeah, we created this character called Tater Tote, and Tater Tote is kind of like those reusable tote bags. But then he has like long arms, it can give you a hug, but you can also just use the arms to wrap it around as like, what do you call it? What do you call it? Like a crossbody, or like a fanny pack.
Or a purse.
Or a purse, exactly.
And you kind of like stretch his arms however long you want.
Yeah. Yeah, and then this is Tater Tote in glass form.
As a little
Also
necklace.
wearing one right now. It's a little necklace.
And then we made a couple magic cards for fun.
Naked Archie. And then that's my mom. We also made t-shirts.
I'm friends with Mookntaka.
Oh, and then our full circle, last year, Socrates Sculpture Park, the one that had the competition, they invited us to share our Friends and Follies during their summer solstice. So
after like 7 years, they reached out to us and invited us.
yeah, they paid us from not getting that grant, and now they invited us to have our pieces and invite for people to play with our friends too.
They had like a big band playing. It was like a whole celebration. So what's next? Shelby Loofah and Pebbles. We actually just made these. These are our first semi-permanent inflatables that live outside. So the way they basically have this like glowing top and a big 1,000-pound concrete bottom. And the idea is that these guys just live outside in our neighborhood, rain or shine, which was kind of scary because a lot of people were like, what's going to happen? What if it pops? And we said that we don't know, but we'll just fix it. And we just have to trust everybody that they'll take care of them.
But you'll see that like if our other friends, they're not held down by a big concrete thing because we usually just take them out for a day or like, a couple hours. So because this is outside for like 24/7, engineers told us that we had to create something on the bottom to make sure that, it didn't just blow away.
Yep.
So that was like a really big design challenge for us.
And then we're making this new friend called Squirmy Wormy, which is inspired by Giraffe Jr.
Yeah.
We made it, but we haven't dyed it yet. So if you have any ideas for what colors to use, let us know.
And then we like to end with this photo because a lot of times now, like people invite us to like different events and parties that for us to be part of. But we also really love to organize, sort of things where people can kind of share in this way of like celebrating play and bringing play to unexpected places. So
yeah, this is like our North Star image where we get to invite other artists to also bring play to unexpected places and bring joy with other people. And we're doing it actually. We did it last weekend for the first time. It was crazy. And we noticed that honestly, it's not too far off from where we started.
yeah, that's it.
Do you have time to take a couple questions?
Yeah, of course.
Joey?
Yeah.
Yeah, questions.
Can we have a little bit of the house lights, because when you're on stage, you can't see the people enough to tell, like, to be like you with the red stripes or whatever. Yeah. Do you want to take questions?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure. Hi. Oh, blue, love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were even thinking of painting on little stripes.
If the giraffe is the junior one, where's the bigger one?
Oh, that's a great question.
Immediate thought.
Yeah, so because Giraffe Jr. was actually one of our first pieces after we made the cattle, we did some prototyping, which we didn't show. And that's where we had Giraffe Senior. And Giraffe Senior is maybe
Like this tall? So it's actually more
Giraffe
smaller.
Senior is smaller, but for us, it was kind of like to test out how the spiral would work, and then we made it bigger.
That's in the blue shirt.
What's your question?
Or you could, like, just you could,
I like the pink stripes. I think that would be a nice contrast with the blue. Thank you.
No?
Okay, no more questions.
Okay.
Anybody else? Oh, I
were there any people who didn't like your idea?
I mean, if they don't, we don't know about it.
Well, actually, yeah. So when we originally proposed those three inflatables with the big heavy concrete bases, the New York City Department of Transportation was very nervous about the idea because they thought that having this inflatable live outside in the public, it could, they're worried that it could be like it could fly away, it can get damaged. They had a lot of concerns, but fortunately, we had a lot of other people support the idea and decided to do it anyways.
Yeah, that one was more out of like a safety
Mhm.
thing. But, a lot of times our curiosity is just like, what if we made a thing that could do this or could do that? And, we just kind of trust our instinct and we trust each other. We have our own strengths and, we share what excites us and hopefully, people are also excited about it too. Not everyone can like your stuff, but as long as you like it and you can, share it and put it out there, that's important to see your creative vision come to life.
Miracle, did you have it?
What are you planning to do after you make the squirming worm?
We gotta share it.
Yeah. Making it is only like one half of it. The rest is like bringing bringing all our friends out for people to play with.
It's just in general, when it comes to like art making and making things, you can always make art for yourself. That's always okay. But sometimes if your interest is in having other people see your work, then really the other half of the journey is sharing the work. So it takes a lot of work to do that too.
What if you connected all together and then they can like go, people can go through them and like go like an obstacle?
Oh,
so
that's such a
fun.
fun idea. I love that.
Mhm.
Chris, you have your moment too.
What's your favorite
What's the question?
My favorite thing.
invention.
My favorite.
Or which one is your favorite
Oh
of your
boy.
friends involved?
For a while, I do love Giraffe Junior. This here, the type of like dyeing process is called ombre. So it's basically I start off with one color, which for here it was yellow, and then kind of like a little dance, a little choreography, try to time adding a different color to it, and then also like dunking the fabric into the pot. So I was able to apply the skills that I learned in school, like a lot in this one. So
My favorite are the newest ones we made with the big concrete base, because it was a new challenge for us. We learned a lot, and a lot of people said it couldn't be done, and we did it.
Are there any other questions, or should we move on to? Are you in? Oh, yes.
Invention, I think it's the biggest thing you can make. I'm just curious.
What's the biggest that it
What's the
can
biggest
be?
thing you couldn't make?
Ah,
Oh gosh, they can be huge. It's like, because when we sew it, all the fabric kind of bunches up and it gets quite small or compact. So if I were to give like a number, because we also have to like dye the fabric, and that's like a big limitation because you can only fit so much fabric into a dye pot, so we have to break it down into smaller panels. I don't know, we haven't gotten this big yet, but like 40 feet maybe?
wow.
We'll get there, we'll get there.
Sure, but I don't know your name yet.
Yeah. What are ideas after Squirmy Wormy?
that's actually a really good question because we haven't gotten past that.
Yeah. Sometimes we've worked really hard this year making those inflatables with the heavy bases that we kind of need a break. So we're actually gonna just play around and do something completely different, just to kind of, I don't know, loosen up, take a
Yeah.
little creative break.
Summertime is our time to share and to play, and then after we'll get to kind of making our own things and seeing what else inspires.
You could make one like series of how you make these three where the pebbles and the things that you're gonna leave outside. You could make a series of different inflatables that follow the same like pattern or like color.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, actually a big thing that we learned from that project too is that because they're outside 24/7, it does get a little sun that the dye fades. And so we are gonna have to re-dye them at some point, so change
Yeah,
up
they'll
the
have a whole new
colors.
color.
Harrison, can Harrison be the last question? Because we want to have time to do them.
Are you ever making dance dances?
That is a great question, and as of right now, no. Because bouncy houses already exist, so, you know, we're kind of thinking, what other things with inflatables could exist aside from bouncy houses?
I mean, you can make a creature that is also bouncy.
That's true. What we've noticed from bouncy houses too, next time you see one, get a closer look. There's a lot of, the fabric is much thicker than what we use, and you need like different machines and equipment to construct it. And those are just out of what we have right now. And also I think it takes a lot of permits and
A lot of rules.
more rules. because they don't want people to get hurt. So
So, I think what you were saying is.
yeah, I'm
I
gonna.
didn't want to assume that, but.
No.
Okay. Do you have
Do we
any
want-
advice or rules about how we touch it or how we approach it?
Oh, great question.
Can
Okay.
you move it to the center?
Yeah. Do you center? Should we move it there?
Like, is it a no, they were supposed to be there and play? How we do it?
So, our suggestions for playing with Giraffe Junior or any of our inflatables, like I said, it's not like a bouncy house, so you can't like jump on it. You can touch and you can like play, but you don't like no kicking or punching. It's like a friend, right? Would you punch or kick your friend? So yeah, you can go under it if you can like slide under, or an easy way. Another way you can do it's also very light, so you can lift it up and then just walk into it and like lift it up.
Gently bounce it.
Yeah. And you can fit multiple people inside, so it's
Yeah, maybe like 5 to 6
yeah,
inside at a time.
yeah.
So this is what we should do. Let's have, listen carefully. Let's have Creative Starts have a chance to come on stage when I finish talking, not right this second. And have a chance to explore that with some of the counselors that are with Creative Starts. Oh,
Creative Starts will up and be able to explore Giraffe Junior with the counselors that are attached to Creative Starts. And I will read festival offerings for the rest of you. And then Creative Starts will leave, and anyone who still at that point wants to be able to experience Giraffe Junior would have a chance to come up then. Okay, so let's do that. Let's have Creative Starts. Oh, that's such a good question. Marigold's asking, like bouncy houses, you always have to take your shoes off? I don't know. Do we have to take our shoes off?
Nope.
No, you don't have to take your shoes off.
Just don't step on it, okay?
But don't step on it. Yeah, because it's not a bouncy house, so it doesn't hold up. You can't stand on it. All right, Creative Starts, please come take your seats. Hello, this is your interim Noel Cricket. I am here to announce our festival offerings for today. We have harmony singing in the music suite with Avi, which is
right upstairs of the EDP room in the middle building. We've also got quiet space in the library with Bear. We have free draw in the OG art room with Anna, who stole my offering, but that's okay. And then we've got gym games with Jeremy and Jackson in the gym. And Maisie and me and Jovi will be hanging out with Mookntaka and Giraffe Jr. If you would like to hang out with Giraffe Jr., I'm going to be calling up 12 kids at a time to come explore with Giraffe Jr. And yeah, so those are Oh, gotcha. 12 kids for a workshop. Sure. So you can come up and explore Giraffe Junior a couple at a time. I will call you if you want to raise your hand. But afterwards, if you want to stay and learn a little bit more about Giraffe Junior, about the process, about Mookntaka, they're going to have a workshop available for 12 kids. So that first 12 campers who are